Welcome to Concrete Block, your premier source for in-depth analysis and discussion of the latest global news and trends. I'm your host, Walter, and we're glad you're joining us today. We're starting off with a significant development in the realm of international relations and defense. Japan has issued a stark warning regarding what it perceives as the most substantial threat to global stability since World War II. According to a recent document released by Japan's Defense Ministry, the combined forces and strategic alignments of China, Russia, and North Korea are posing a grave challenge to the existing world order. This assessment comes at a time when tensions between major world powers are on the rise, with issues like trade wars, territorial disputes, and military buildups contributing to an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape. Japan's concerns are not unfounded, given its geographical proximity to these nations and its historical experiences. The document highlights the joint military operations conducted by China and Russia, as well as the ongoing threats from North Korea's nuclear and missile programs. These factors, according to Japan, collectively represent a threat that hasn't been seen since the end of World War II, underscoring the need for vigilance and strategic planning among nations committed to maintaining global peace and security. It's worth noting that this statement from Japan reflects a broader trend of shifting alliances and heightened military readiness around the world. As countries navigate these challenging times, diplomatic efforts and dialogue are being emphasized as crucial tools in preventing escalation and promoting stability. We'll continue to monitor this situation and provide updates as more information becomes available. The implications of Japan's warning are far-reaching, touching on issues of international cooperation, defense strategies, and the future of global governance. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into the world of international finance and politics. Today, we're discussing a significant development in the European Union, where a proposed budget of close to €2 trillion has been put on the table for the period between 2028 and 2034. This substantial jump from the previous budget cycle, which was around €1.20 trillion, reflects the EU's efforts to address various challenges it faces, including rising global economic competition and increased defense demands. The proposed budget includes a competitiveness, prosperity, and security fund worth €589.60 billion, with €450.50 billion earmarked for an EU competitiveness fund. It's also worth noting that farming, a long-standing cornerstone of the EU budget, is set to receive a significant chunk of funding, with €293.70 billion proposed for the bloc's common agricultural policy. As you can imagine, this proposal will likely be subject to intense negotiations and debate among EU member states, some of which may struggle with budgetary issues, and will be responsible for funding most of the package through national contributions. EU Commissioner Michael McGrath has framed this budget as being formulated in challenging circumstances, including the need to start repaying the EU's pandemic-era COVID debt in 2028. This could reach €25 billion a year, which is certainly a significant financial commitment. As we consider the implications of this proposed budget, it's essential to recognize the complex and often competing demands that the EU faces. From bolstering defense capabilities to improving competitiveness and addressing regional funding disparities, the EU must navigate these challenges while ensuring the long-term sustainability of its finances. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this proposal develops and evolves over the coming months. For now, it's clear that the EU is taking significant steps to address the challenges it faces, and we can expect lively discussions and debates as this process unfolds. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're wrapping up today's show with a look at two major international stories that have been making headlines. First, let's talk about the situation in Pakistan, where former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been facing intense scrutiny and opposition from the current government. The human rights situation in the country has become a subject of discussion in the U.S. Congress, with lawmakers expressing concern over the state of affairs in the South Asian nation. The Pakistani government has also announced plans to create a new national paramilitary force, which has raised concerns among opposition parties and human rights organizations about potential curtailment of political and civil liberties. In another part of the world, the International Criminal Court has rejected Israel's request to withdraw arrest warrants against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. The ICC issued these warrants in November over alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity in the Gaza conflict. Israel has challenged the court's jurisdiction, arguing that it does not have the authority to investigate Israeli actions in Gaza. The court has stated that the warrants remain valid until a specific ruling on jurisdiction is made, with no set timeline for this decision. It's essential to note that both of these stories are complex and multifaceted, with different perspectives and opinions on the issues at hand. As always, we strive to provide a balanced view of current events without taking sides or promoting any particular agenda. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay informed.